Welcome to PottsCast with me, Potts, comedian, and my producer friend Jordan. Hello, Potts. We'll be joined by entertainers, comedians, people around the street, anyone that fucking wants to come on the show, as long as they're not boring as fuck.
Brilliant.
Our guest today is Keefy from Hampshire, winner of the Stand Up for Cider 2022 competition, runner-up at South Coast Comedian 2022, beat me the fucking wanker, and regularly performing for Epic Comedy as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stop it.
What? Yeah.
Actually, carry on.
And he's also done a few. How many Potts comedy gigs have you done? Is it just one of the
Mate,
Waverley one?
You don't book me anywhere near enough.
Sure I do. Anyway, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here, man. I'm going to kick off really early and I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, go for it.
This is called On the Spot.
On the spot.
Lovely. What I'm going to do, it's not like immediate, and actually, Martin, you can play along as well.
Yeah.
I've just generated 3 random topics,
Like it.
right? I'm going to give you all 3. And by the end of the session, if you can come up with a joke, it can be a one-liner, observation.
Yeah, it's called On
Mate,
the
you
Spot.
could have given me this at least 3 months ago.
Yeah. No, because that would have been easy.
Okay.
I don't know
If
either, just so you know.
He doesn't either. I've just pressed generate.
Go on.
And if you don't, I'll edit this bit out. No one will ever
Yeah,
know. The topics are dance, radiology, or elephants.
So what the fuck is radiology?
Well, I can refresh them if you want.
What does it mean? What is radiology?
It's like X-rays and stuff, isn't it?
Is that what radiology is?
Yeah.
Come on, Martin.
Can I use jokes that I've already written?
100%.
If they are apt and appropriate and also fit the criteria, absolutely. Radiology. What was the other one? Dance, radiology.
Elephants.
Fucking hell.
So you could do like, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a bit of stand-up. I'm going to do a joke for you. I might try and do 2 jokes for you, Keefy. I'm not a comedian, but I thought it could be quite funny. You could give me some pointers, some tips, make me a better comedian.
Yeah.
Maybe I can break out. But we'll do that in a little bit, shall we? So you've got your topics. I'll give you to the end to stew on that and have a little think. Might be hard when you're talking as well.
Yeah.
But fuck it, who cares? Annoying things punters say to you, Keefy. Got any of them, mate? What is the worst thing someone can just come up and say at a stand-up gig?
Oh. I had one a little while ago where the guy ran up to me as soon as I come off stage. Ran up to me and he was like, Keefy, come outside. I've got something to tell you. He basically dragged me out of the door. I was like, all right. He goes, oh yeah, that was great. I've got something. You'll love to hear this. You'll love to hear this. And then he very drunkenly mumbled a story at me at 1,000 miles an hour that I understood absolutely nothing about,
Right.
apart from the punchline, which was someone bit his cock off or something. And I was just like, and he was laughing like
More than you would.
I was very confused. And he was like, yeah, you can have that. You can have that if you want. Use it. I'm like, Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
And what part of the set do you have that in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's in there now, right?
Oh man. But that's. I mean, the classic is obviously tell us a joke. You don't get that so much at
I've just done that.
gigs. Yeah, I mean,
I think older
tell us a
people,
joke, funny man.
older people don't really get it, do they? They go, look at this video. Look, you can use all this. No, you can't, because you'll get fucking lynched. You cannot use other people's stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like music where you can go, it's a cover.
Yeah. I mean,
You can't
even if
use
it is good, I wouldn't feel good about doing it.
No.
Why would I want to tell someone else's joke?
No.
What's the point in that?
Exactly.
Exactly. It must be hard to like resonate with it has to mean at least something to you, right?
Yeah, totally. Like, I mean, some of my jokes are nonsense, but they're
No.
It's your nonsense.
yeah, exactly, and they're kind of. I feel like they represent my personality.
Yeah.
You know, it might not have been an actual story. You know, it might not be truth, or it might not be something that actually happened, but it's something that I might actually do.
Yeah.
Or it might be a combination of things that I've done that I've put it together.
Do you have a joke that's like working for you at the moment? It's getting a lot of laughs.
Yeah, so my latest one that's going quite nicely actually is this one, which is probably the probably the most truest out of I've sort of find like as the more I do, the more truth is actually in my
Yeah,
comedy. So I'm doing more and more about my kids and stuff because
Yeah.
they're kind of giving me ammunition. But
Goldmine.
yeah,
Clearly
um,
material.
but my wife and I have been. We started doing like cocktail nights,
Okay.
like during lockdown and stuff. So we started to learn
How to make 'em.
how to make cocktails
Yeah.
and things like that, and we'd make like a night of it and get snacks and stuff. But I've changed it in the joke. So I say that like when we first got together, we didn't have a lot of money, so what we'd do is we'd go out and make cocktails, we'd make a night of it, and we'd get dressed up and get snacks, and then I'd shag her tits off, and then we've been together 8 years now. We've had 2 kids, and after all that time, we're still doing it, except now it's just the snacks.
Yeah.
And then I say just the snacks. The other day we had a pack of pork scratchings and a cheeky finger.
No, I love your little double.
I don't even like pork scratchings or being fingered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
so-
your jokes because your jokes are kind of like sometimes I would say that they're almost sometimes one-liners hidden within a story. Would you sort of
Yeah,
agree?
yeah, I like that.
And
Yeah, yeah.
they are, and I know I've said to you a million times. I love your joke about the vegan transsexuals. I just think it's fucking brilliant, literally, because of the fact of it being a topic which is maybe not always, should we say, so clean, but you're not actually saying it. You're leaving it up to their imagination to make that innuendo. Like you are doing it, but you're not actually saying a filthy word in any way.
No.
That
And there's
punchline, which I won't ruin for anyone.
also it's not offensive.
No.
No, it's not.
No, it's a statement, and it's just
yeah.
a double meaning, and it's just, but it's so.
And also it's my personal, for me, well, I don't mind saying the joke.
Love-
The-
I
the-
think we
Yeah,
should
go
say
on,
the
yeah,
joke
do the joke.
for the
ultimately
context.
the premise of the joke is that so I kind of lead up to it with some jokes about
It may sound like
pansexual
you
and
go.
like vegan people, and then I say look, I don't want anyone to think that I'm got anything against vegan or transsexual people. In fact, I once dated someone who turned out to be a transsexual vegan, and I sort of make a face and say difficult to eat out.
I think it's brilliant. I literally think it's one of those ones I wish I'd thought of. It's that good.
Yeah.
It is really. And I don't ever want to see you drop it, ever.
Yeah, and I'm not, when you break it down, it always gets like a big laugh, but also a ooh sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just, but that's just because you're talking about a subject matter that
100%.
people are uncomfortable about. If you think about it, all I'm saying is, as a straight man, I find it difficult to suck a cock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is
And
it.
also find good vegan food. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm not saying anyone shouldn't do that. I'm
No.
not saying that
No.
just anyone shouldn't like it. All I'm
No.
saying for me is difficult.
It's all on the interpretation of the
I'm not saying that
punchline.
I wouldn't do it or haven't done it. I'm just saying it's
But
difficult.
you don't. The thing is, I think it's such a great joke, and like I said, it's not. I don't think it's offensive because like I said, it's up for interpretation. It's just a play on words, exactly that, and it is no way. The whole point is it's not having a go at all
Yeah.
in any
Yeah,
way.
exactly.
But also, like it really depends. If I haven't got the room on my side,
Yeah.
that joke doesn't go down.
You
very
said
well.
that to me.
Yeah.
Before.
I started working a little while ago. So when I first started, like I was much more deadpan, much more sort of making fun of everyone else.
Yeah.
And whilst some rooms that was fine, it was not always. I mean, it was like 50% of the time.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
would be
yeah.
good or bad. So, I started working at becoming more self-deprecating and more playful as well. So the
You
deadpan
have,
thing
yeah.
is very like serious, and people think that you're being serious about everything you say when you're being deadpan.
That's the problem. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It sounds like political views. When
Yeah,
it's
and
not.
that's not my real self. I'm quite silly in real
Yeah,
life
yeah.
as well. So my persona on stage now is more myself and more silly. So as long as they understand that I'm joking, they understand that I'm being silly. They understand that it's comedy and it's playful and whatever else. If they're on side with me, that joke always lands. But if for whatever reason one of the jokes before they've taken too serious, or there's a couple of my jokes, if I say it slightly differently,
Yeah.
it just takes on a different meaning.
It's mental. Yeah, I've had
So
that as well. Yeah.
yeah, it can depend on the room, and I did it once at a gig, and I didn't realise that there was someone in the room who was a surgeon for
For that exact
yeah
same thing.
whatever that
Trans.
word is, yeah, and I'd missed that, and then that joke kind of didn't land very well, and then but I hadn't won them over either, so that gig was hard.
Yeah.
Should we do another feature?
Yeah.
You ready to be a bit of a critic, a bit of a coach, Keefy, for me?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this feature, I'm calling it "The Amateur Stitches Up the Professional."
Right. Okay. A little reference there.
Yeah. I'm going to tell a couple of jokes.
Who's the professional?
You.
Oh, okay.
I'm the amateur.
Sure.
You've been paid. You've been paid for comedy.
Yeah, you've made more money from comedy than I ever have. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of jokes, Keefy. Actually, one of them's Martin's joke. I'm just going to nick one of your jokes because I've only got one.
I don't even know which one is it. But yeah, do it. Don't tell me which one it is.
I won't,
Let's
but
see
you'll
it.
be laughing. And actually, I think you'll be able to tell quite a good story off the back of it.
Go for it.
All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Okay. Hey guys, how you doing? Yeah.
Great stuff.
Right, I've just come to the open mic.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do the whole.
Hey, do you
If I
find
just-
like comedy?
If I just read the jokes, it's going to be boring, isn't it?
No, I think that's thing is, I don't know if you're going to top that now. Do it again. Start again.
Okay.
It's like you have it myself.
Listen,
I always start like that.
You're... Hello.
right.
No, I'll do it properly now.
No, don't do it badly again. I like.
No, it's going to be great. Hello. How you doing tonight? You all right?
Yeah.
Have a good night? Good. We've got one of those harvesters at the end of my road. Anyone ever eaten at Harvester? Do you like Harvester?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah? No, you don't. Oh, that's a shame. Well, I'll fill you in. What's your name, sir? Sorry?
Keefy.
Keefy, nice to meet you. I'm Jordan. Should have said that when I came on, really. Anyway, yeah, so Harvester, basically, when you go there, they've got this, like, salad bar. It's probably the best part of the actual experience because you go and order your meal and they go and help yourself to the salad bar, mate. And there's, like, pasta, croutons, lovely vegetables, all of that. So, yeah, just after lockdown, I went over to the local Harvester. They, eat out to help out and that.
Bored.
You're bored. Oh, is it too long? Well, this is the criticism I want, but I'll try and get to the punchline. I'm going to hurry up. The waiter said to me, "Yeah, there's no salad bar." And I said, "Oh, you're joking. That's awful. That's terrible." And he said, "Yeah, so with your meal, you're just going to have to roll with it." Because you get a roll at the salad bar. No. All right, move on. Yeah, I didn't do that one very well.
No, you did. Yeah, that was it. You messed up the joke. You messed up
Here's
the joke.
here's my joke. Do you like Sopranos? Ever seen The Sopranos? You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that Tony Soprano's going to be opening an internet cafe next to his strip club. Yeah, it's called Bada Ping.
I think that's so good.
Thank you.
It's good.
Cheers, I've enjoyed it.
Hey, good night. That's my 5 minutes.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
what's your criticism, Scott?
yeah,
I'll start
so-
Keefy.
Right.
Confidence is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thank
you
you.
went for it. Yeah,
You
yeah.
did.
It's hard in front of two people.
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
This is a bigger Portsmouth crowd than we normally get.
But especially I'm jumping in and heckling you after 10 seconds. as well.
But,
Go with it,
what's up,
dickhead.
gig?
well, you gave me the authentic experience. So what, I was a bit too long leading in, was I?
Yeah. That was a way too long setup for the punchline. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
the-
agree
the-
with
it-
you, yeah.
if the longer the setup, the stronger the punchline needs to be.
Right.
And for a joke like that, that needs to be snappy. That needs to be a one-liner. That needs
Yeah.
to be. I went to the salad bar the other day. I was told to roll with it.
Yeah,
or
something like
whatever it was.
Whatever it was, did
Yeah.
just lost interest. Yeah,
Yeah.
that board. So
Be like
Whereas,
the
like-
Sopranos one.
Tell me it again.
Okay.
Just
I've got
the-
I've got two variations. So the one I told you was, I've heard Tony Soprano's opening an internet cafe next to his strip club. Yeah, it's called Bada Ping, because in the show the strip club's called Bada Bing. You'd need to know and the other one was Tony Soprano. He's got into his Wi-Fi settings.
But why bada ping?
because
play on
microwaves,
the wall.
microwaves go ping.
No, well, internet,
didn't-
innit? You have a ping rate, don't you?
Oh, it should be better with microwaves.
Yeah,
You reckon?
that's what
Yeah,
I-
because that's
Oh, okay.
fuck me.
See,
My
this is
dad
good.
ain't gonna know what a ping is, he?
But, hang on,
Yeah.
but his restaurant's called Bada Bing.
His strip
A
club.
strip
is.
club. So yeah, so he's opening a restaurant next to his strip club, rather than.
Did I say a restaurant? I meant a cyber cafe. I think I said cyber cafe.
Right,
Yeah,
this
but
is
I
what this is what this is a disaster.
The art's lost
This
on
is
me.
what the joke should be.
Go for
Tony Soprano's just opened up a microwave shop next to, what's it?
His strip club.
next to a strip club. Yeah, it's called Bada Ping.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's better for the setup.
Or yeah, or like
Ping is more obvious.
or
associated
even
with microwaves.
Yeah.
Ping is to do with internet, but you got to hope that they're all fucking complete and utter data nerds to know that.
yeah.
I didn't get it. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
you
yeah.
said microwave. I just
My mind went that way as
microwave.
well.
That's cool.
But
That's good to
also,
know.
I haven't watched The Sopranos enough to know the
I
reference.
don't think you do because I've watched Sopranos, but not much. And Bada Bing is obviously
It's a bit of a
Italian.
mafia
Bada
phrase.
Bing is always
But then maybe you don't need to even say The Sopranos. You could just say I've opened up an Italian microwave restaurant.
I think even better. I've opened up a microwave pizza restaurant. Yeah, it's called Bada Ping.
Yeah.
Because it's Italian. Pizza's already Italian. You've already
Yeah.
got that association. And Ping,
I like it.
Ping is more associated with microwaves. You wouldn't have to explain that to most people. Even younger generation will probably have used the microwave once in their life.
Well, they should all have.
And then the other joke that you,
I think that as well, like it's definitely a delivery on that as well.
Yeah.
Like because if you just went, you'd have to be like Bada Bing.
yeah,
Like and say it like it's not actually the punchline. Just be
like a bit of an Italian accent or something.
yeah, or
do
just
the hands.
but do it with like really proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've set up like an Italian microwave restaurant. Bada Bing.
Yeah, I think so. And the Harvester one is basically I told Jordan a joke, and it was a good joke. I think I did a gig at Harvester once, proudest moment in my comedy history, and I did go right, guys. Okay, right. The salad bar's got no lettuce, no croutons, no butter. You just got to roll with it, and that was the joke.
See, he does it better than I
But
do.
they weren't listening. They were smashed, and then someone threw a bread roll at my head.
That's a better joke.
Yeah, I know it is, but that's not a joke. That fucking happened.
Which is a nice segue to what have you ever had any like things like that, embarrassing gig moments, backstage moments? I'd love to hear them,
100%
Keefy.
Keefy has, whether he tells us. 100% there must be some.
So
I've got some.
So Martin's had a bread roll thrown at his head when he did a gig in the Harvester, which sounds fucking crazy, but it did happen.
Yeah, that did happen.
I'll get heckled, but I've never had like a your shit heckle, It's always people just kind of joining in, or like they'll laugh at something and then be like, "Oh yeah, you do that. Oh yeah, let's talk about you being a vegan or whatever."
They don't understand.
Yeah.
Do they? Yeah.
I had one just get up. So yeah, I'd done some sort of joke, and then she started talking with her friends or whatever, and then I was like, what you're talking about, and then she was like, they said something, and then she literally got up and just walked out across like a really long, wide room, right? And she just got up. She's like so embarrassed that she just walked out. And then like 5 minutes later, I'm still on stage. She comes in with like stilettos on like a wood floor, and just like clomp, 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 clomp across the floor, like mid joke. And I was like just finishing the setup, and then she comes clopping in. And I was just like at that point where, do you finish the joke or do I address this?
Yeah, it's difficult.
And I just waited for her to reach her seat and just went, well, this is a noisy floor, isn't it? Yeah. But
you get a good laugh for that.
yeah, it was all right. Like I've just found that it was just everything that I like. My gig, like there's certain jokes where I ask the audience a question, knowing, so Jordan experienced that firsthand. And there'll always be one of two things, or normally one of two things that will happen, and I'll have an answer for both.
Yeah.
But every now and then they'll throw a curveball, and this gig was just one of those ones where every time I said something, they would fuck it up for me, and it would just like derail the joke. It was just really frustrating. So it was just like a total fight all the time, and I was having to kind of try and figure out ways to get around it. But it was all right. But yeah, no, I've never had a bread roll being thrown at me.
Oh, you
to be
missed
honest.
out, mate.
Yeah,
It's good.
Well, when that happens, you've got to roll with it,
Yeah,
right?
you just got to roll with it. That's the thing. If they listened, that was a good joke, and it annoyed me that they didn't really.
Fucking
to go. But the other thing I was going to say is that you've really thrown yourself into the deep end because you obviously the other thing you did, and obviously I know myself, is you started running a night. You just went, fuck it, I'm going to run a night, and MC'd it yourself. And what made you do that? Like,
so I've had my sort of comedy career so far has been very kind of broken because of lockdowns ultimately.
Course, yeah.
But I've also in that time had two kids as well. So every time a kid has come along, there's been a break of at least, I think probably didn't do anything for 4 or 5 months, and the second one came along. So yeah, so it was kind of like doing a bit of comedy, and then there's lockdown, doing a bit more, and lockdown again, and then a bit more, and then kid came along, second one came along, and then I had like months off, and then just happened to be in that pub, and I'd been thinking about running my own gig for ages,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh, we're starting to do some music and put events on and stuff." I just thought, and I looked around the room, and I just thought,
Good
"Oh
comedy.
fuck it, I'll ask." I just said, "Oh, do you fancy doing a comedy night?" And they bit my arm off. So, um,
Did you know what you were doing? Because it's fucking daunting. Because I didn't, when I first started, I didn't. It genuinely. What I was like, I've never done it before. I've just seen other people do it. And
yeah,
I was like, how hard is it? And it's stressful.
yeah, I think I understood what needed to make a good night.
Yeah,
And I think that's the key. So I sort of said to them, I explained to them exactly what needed to happen, and I said, it needs to be like this, otherwise I'm not interested, sort of
yeah,
thing. Um, and they were like, things like it's in the bar, isn't it? So there's
yeah,
like a bar area,
yeah,
and I said the bar needs to be closed,
yeah.
otherwise it's not going to work. And they were
No,
like, oh well, we kind of need it to be open. I was like, that's fine, we just won't do it.
yeah, yeah.
So
Because you
and
can't have it where people have bought tickets and the other people are having a conversation.
yeah,
We know it does
yeah,
not work.
yeah, and it's like it's a Wednesday night. You're not going to have anyone in here
No, that's the whole
otherwise. So
point of it.
yeah, so and they were really good. They were like, you know better than us. We'll do it your way and see how it goes, and they have, and it's worked. But
Yeah,
um, probably the hardest thing. I think the rest of it's relatively easy. Set up a decent room of
yeah.
seating, set up some decent lighting and sound, um, set a date, get a poster,
You,
but it's actually
you're
getting
no.
people in through the door.
You're playing it down, mate. It's that stuff that you just mentioned really quickly is again the poster needs to be good. The sound equipment you need to make sure it's obviously of the level for the spoken word and the lighting. All those things together are difficult to get, and it's all trial and error at the
Mm,
beginning. I know that because when I did mine, I was like didn't even have a PA
mm,
stuff, and and it's stressful because you care and you want it to be a success. And I'll be honest, like I said, from the one that I went to, it's they love it. The audience are fantastic. They're well behind it.
yeah.
So you must be so proud of that. And also, emceeing it yourself every time as well.
Yeah, which is good experience as well. And it's different, and it's hard because we get a lot of people come every month, sorry. So I can't
Do the same
do
stuff.
material,
No.
and I can't ask the same, standard question. I need to be a bit more creative with it,
Yeah.
and also I'm kind of forcing myself because my normal stand up is very pre-written and very structured. I'm sort of forcing myself to not have any of that. So I'll literally go on stage with nothing in my head.
I know how difficult that is,
Yeah.
mate.
And that's they're a massive learning curve for me, and gives you even if it doesn't necessarily go down well, it just gives you that confidence
100%.
to stand on stage and have to think
Yeah.
on your feet. So when there's always times where you're talking to people, even when you're doing a set, something gets interrupted, or there's something to react to. So it certainly helps.
Yeah, definitely.
um well, you do it more than I do, but
I do, but it's daunting, and there are MCs out there that are really, really sort of like out there and sort of will go and just love sort of picking on the audience. Whereas I think your MC style is probably similar to mine in the sense of just sort of like just going with the flow, and I don't prep overly too much, but I do sort of try and sort of work out who's where, what they've done, rah rah rah. But it's just that the best advice that I ever heard with MCing is speak to everyone that come in the room because you get a feel for it. And one, you're not a stranger to them. Two, they're not a stranger to you. And it ends up becoming a room full of almost friends, and it's just such a great atmosphere.
I've got a little feature for you, Keefy. It's called Pots or Jawed.
right.
But really, it's sort of like this or that. I'm going to
Uh-huh.
give you like two things. You're just going to tell me one. First one that speaks to you, I suppose. Maybe elaborate. I might push you to elaborate a little bit because I think be good to understand the psyche of Keefy. So, opening or headlining?
What would I rather?
Mm.
It depends on the room.
What do you mean by that?
Well, my gig, for instance, is not necessarily easier or harder to do either. But at the beginning, that everyone's very straight. It's a really straight laced room. It's quite a middle class area, and they're not comedy goers. So everyone's kind of like, it's a Wednesday night, everyone's kind of sitting there like, you
Yeah.
know, don't really know what's going on. So the first act has to kind of break through that, be, you know, a bit more energetic. By the end of it, they're always absolutely smashed.
They are, yeah.
And I, like you, make
Yeah.
a point of talking to everyone and getting everyone like, and because I can't do material because they come every week,
Yeah.
every month, they are then in this kind of position where they think that they can shout out because I'm allowing them to shout out. So
Right.
the headliner then gets absolutely barraged with heckles by drunk people. So the headliner has got to be capable to deal with that.
They do, yeah.
And the opener needs to be capable of creating a good atmosphere. So they need to make people that aren't ready to laugh.
Sure.
And the headliner needs to batter them away.
That's why they're the pros a lot of the time.
Yeah,
For headlines.
absolutely. So yeah, it totally depends on the night, I think.
Stuart Lee or Lee Evans?
Oh, that's a good one, isn't it?
I like the way they've both got Lee in them.
That's why I did it. And I think they're two distinct styles of comedy.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
interested to know what you'd prefer.
Do you know, I like both of them, but I'm not massive fans of either of them. I mean, you've got to respect the writing ability of Stuart Lee is just like is next level, you know. I think what annoys me about Stuart Lee is he makes me feel shit about myself as a comedian because he's so good.
He is.
And he makes fun of people like the sort of stuff that I say. And I kind of recognize some of the stuff he's taking the piss out of in what I do. and I think that's why I dislike him a little bit because he's making fun of me. But no, he's fucking quality. Lee Evans, yeah, obviously he's super silly, isn't he? And I guess I see a little bit of me in him in his kind of physical comedy and some of the stuff that I like to do.
Yeah.
Who would I rather go see? I don't know. I mean, Lee Evans hasn't been around for years, has he?
He's retired.
Yeah,
Think of either of them in their heyday.
probably Lee Evans.
Lee Evans. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least you did answer that one in the end. You didn't just go, oh,
Lee Evans, definitely.
All right.
Got to be Lee Evans. He was the first comedian that I saw on video, like when I was like before.
It was very popular when we were in school.
He was brilliant. He's still brilliant now.
Yeah.
But like, just in his heyday, fantastic.
I think that Lee Evans makes you feel clever and Stuart Lee makes you feel stupid. That's the difference between them.
Yeah, and I suppose it's like what mood you're in. Do I want to be like talked down to, or do I want to watch someone run around going,
yeah.
Office US or Office UK?
Oh, UK.
Good answer. I'm not even going to get you to elaborate. Observations or one-liners?
Oh.
I thought you were about to do a joke there. That sounds like your Peppa Pig voice.
Yeah.
I'm Peppa.
I mean, my instinct is to say one-liners, but it's like anything. I'd rather good observations than shit one-liners, and vice versa. So, yeah.
That's cool. Rich or famous?
What would I rather be? I think I would rather be successful.
You can't answer. You can't answer them straight. He's answered one of them straight.
One of them was or. It was not successful or famous. You've got to go with one.
I thought I have to put one in there that's not directly related to comedy. Would you rather be like
one kind of?
Would you rather be like famous for comedy? Like, oh yeah,
that's
Keefy.
the thing. Yeah, I don't want to be famous for shooting someone in the head.
No. Or would you rather be like sitting at home counting your money because you wrote an amazing sitcom, but no one really knows who you are?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to be rich or famous for doing something that you're proud of.
True. Good answer.
Yeah. I don't know. The ego in me wants to be recognised for
100%
for something that I've done, but equally, there's very little satisfaction in that after a little while, I imagine. Whereas with money, you could buy the things that make you happy.
Yeah,
true.
So let's go money.
Rich.
Last one, Potts or Jord?
For what?
Who's better?
At what?
Who do you like more? It's probably Potts, isn't it?
Well, I know him more than you. But
Oh, come on!
I'm
Have you
gonna-
not known Jordan for the hour that he's been in front of you?
So I'm gonna have to say Jordan, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, it's a
And
loaded question, that one.
you did call me a cunt at one of your gigs once, so I'll take umbrage with that. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
That was a good. You should explain some of this stuff. How did he call you a cunt?
Well, Keefy has a joke where he talks about someone like a family or friend saying that he's ginger.
Let's reenact it. Fuck it. Let's reenact it. Keefy, do the bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Do the bit where you where Jordan
I think
fell bait to it.
I think it needs an explanation because basically the lead up is that the person's like puts their hand up to your question.
Yeah. I'm basically asking if there are any other ginger
I put my hand up.
cunts in.
It was golden. It was golden. Yeah, brilliant. But thanks for choosing.
I do like. How did you come up with your joke? Was it you talk about being? You say people say I'm ginger, but I'm actually not. Apparently, I've got a little hint of denial. How did you? Do you remember
Do you
how?
know, I don't. I've
That is a
stopped doing-
really good.
I actually just stopped doing that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because that part is like the weakest part of that whole
I
bit.
think that's fucking brilliant because I think it's such a curveball. I don't expect it. Don't see it coming.
Really?
So what was interesting was Martin was saying that's my favourite bit of the joke. Like it's one of my favourite bits Keefy
Yeah.
does.
Oh.
And when I watched it back on the YouTube video, it probably gets like the least laughs, like you just said.
Yeah, it definitely is the weakest part.
Yeah.
Partly because I'm only a little bit ginger,
Yeah.
and people can't see that on stage, so
I
people
see what you're saying.
people don't necessarily buy into it. So I have to kind of like force it into people that some people think that I'm a little bit ginger. So I've changed that all now, and I don't actually do that. But that all actually came from the only reason I do any of that ginger stuff is because of a real life joke that happened. I just happened to be like with my top off in a pool somewhere, and my friend went, "Oh, you look like a Greek god." I said, "More like a Greek yogurt."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's such a fucking good gag as
Yeah,
well.
because I'm so pasty
you
and
do
like I had a
the
beer belly and stuff, so I looked like a mess, you know,
yeah.
so, like a pasty mess.
What's it?
And I was
she
like,
says I look like a Greek yogurt.
That's it.
That's what
Yeah,
you do,
that's
and
it.
that is really a good joke as well.
yeah. So I was like, how can I've got to somehow shoehorn this into a bit. So that whole ginger bit is so that I can lead up to that one joke, and I've managed to. I sat down. So going back to your question about writing, I was like, right, I need to get this joke into it. So I need to. What else can I talk about being white? And there's a couple of other jokes about being pasty, and then that that is prefixed by being a little bit ginger and stuff like that. And it kind of what I'm ultimately doing is going, I'm a little bit ginger, so I'm allowed to make fun of gingers.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
And then I pick on someone else in the crowd that is ginger and try and just about by tenterhooks I've managed to say that I'm part of your club sort of thing, so I'm allowed to continue with this. And I think that's actually why it works so well, because people are looking at me going, you're not, but I'm also enjoying this.
I don't care about that part anymore. It's funny who gives.
And it's like what I'm actually saying in that whole bit is that why is it bad to be ginger? Why are we making fun of ginger people? But also let's make fun of ginger people.
100%.
Yeah, which
that's what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's the bit I remember from your set, or probably because it involved
because you were
me,
involved. Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I think that's like I don't necessarily like doing that bit because, as I say, it is kind of forced a little bit. But equally, I enjoy it because it gets someone in the audience involved, and I think that always is a little bit more powerful than me just standing there doing set up punchline.
Yep.
So yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
We're bringing it back. This feature we said at the start of the show, on the spot, it's called. I gave 3 topics to Keefy and to Martin, to Potts himself. They were dance, radiology, and elephants. And I just wanted one joke. It could either be about any of those topics. They didn't have to include them all, but I do think Martin's tried to include all of them. So I'm interested to hear that. Come on, Potts.
Okay. Why did the elephant dance to the radiology department at the hospital?
Don't know.
To see his X-ray. It's gay joke.
Oh, right. You should have said why.
X-ray.
You should have said.
X-ray.
Why
I know.
Why
I
did
should
the
have done
gay
it.
elephant?
No, because but
That's
I
better
thought,
written down.
yeah. And thrown in the bin. I mean, I think it's something there. It's just
No,
not. It's not what I said.
That would work as a tweet because if you don't see the E before the X,
Yeah.
then that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So I think there's something there, but again, that's the first draft.
I'm going to give you half a point because you got all 3 topics in.
Yeah,
Impressive.
I just wanted to make it about gay elephants, and I feel I achieved that.
Keefy.
Well, I've got absolutely nothing.
Dance.
Oh, that's fine.
So dance, radiology, and elephants.
I can share my joke about Morris dancing with you.
Sure.
So people hate white middle class men, don't they? We've done some absolutely horrendous things, like Morris dancing. I mean, isn't it sad to think that is England's version of the hacker?
Brilliant. I mean, we know the joke, but it's a great joke.
Yeah, it is a great joke.
And
I won't do the dance.
There's no. Well, maybe one day we'll have this videoed, but at the moment, there's no fucking.
We'll have to
point.
get you back, Keefy, for the video series.
Yeah,
But,
definitely.
Get on YouTube and have a little search if you want to see a couple of Keefy sets, including his award-winning set, Stand Up for Cider 2022.
No, fuck that. Go and fucking see him live. There'll be a show. Go onto his page. You've got Instagram, haven't you?
I'll tell you what, Keefy, give us your plugs now, my man.
Socials.
Yeah, the best place to find content on me is on Facebook, which is Keefy Jewell. So it's Keefy Jewell. And also the same on YouTube.
Sounds good. Thank you for joining us, Keefy. It's been a much pleasure. Did you actually win the cider on the stand-up? Did they give you any cider? I want to know.
Yeah. There was a little bit of cider.
Did they actually give you cider?
Yeah, and
Nice.
they've engraved my name onto the side of a cider keg.
That's amazing. That's
When
quite
you've
cool.
got that at home.
No. I held it for 10 minutes and then gave it back.
Well, that's all I'd want. Oh, fantastic.
Oh, brilliant. Well, no, cheers, Keefy. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you very much. Thanks for Keefy for joining us. I've been Potts and my producer friend Jordan here.
See you later.
Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.